Alright, guess I can start the video right now. So before we start, this is a run I did yesterday. It was pretty cool. I did this offline, so that's why I figured I would show it now. I bet the word recovered by some amount of time, so yeah. Here we go, let's go, commentary. Yay. Time for fun. Alright, so Pandora story, the ending is going through the first 9th tower. It's the first 9 towers. Because the ending happens after that. It's because you don't have enough affinity to finish the game. So like it's not really it's not a real ending per se, because you don't really fight the final boss and the game still keeps going after that. Yo, nice video. What? Okay, whatever just happened here, let's just call that some encoding mess up. So anyway, most of the stuff that you're going to see in this the ending run is going to be the same as this ending, except some stuff are going to be done faster. And also a little bit of reroute here and there that I thought about, and that worked out pretty well. Tutorial here, just going to kill that monster. Grab the beast flesh, because we need to give that to Elena. Just some normal stuff. So you do 2 strong attacks and 3 normal hits, and that's it for the monster. 2 or 3. Sometimes it doesn't work with only 2. You need to deal a 3rd hit. I know. Well, it's not. You don't have to say good luck because I already did this run, so I'm just showing it now because I did it offline. First run of the day, by the way. It was just like one run for fun because I wasn't in the mood of streaming. Just wanted to do a run. Turns out it was an actual PB and world record. It was pretty cool. Right now we're just going through a bunch of cutscenes and stuff. Cutscenes tutorial. So even though we have to talk to Mavda now, like it would be a great moment to buy stuff, but she doesn't have anything interesting to buy in a speedrun setting. She just has some healing items and I believe some crafting items, but I'm not sure about that one. She probably does, and some gifts. So nothing that's interesting us. What we want is buffs. Because we don't really care about healing items, even more if we are going to skip 2 dungeons. So like I'm going to skip a few healing items on the way, like just to Duriad berries. Like even though Duriad berries casually doesn't heal that much, they actually gives you a pretty good percentage of HP back when you're actually playing through the game in a speedrun setting, just because your health is super low like all the time. So here you need to grab this item. You can't grab it from this far, you need to be at a certain distance from it to grab it. So I just zoom a little bit to see it, and then I grab it later. It's pretty optimal. To drop down those ledges all the time without like grabbing, going down and grabbing it. You need to hold C, or at least that's what you need to hold on the Wiimote plus Nunchuk setup. The head of this monster is always on the same place, so you just discover it, because trying to attack it when it's still covered is going to take more than one combo, like it's reducing damage. And you have to do it in... I'm pretty sure you have to do it in New Game. And in New Game Plus you don't even have to fight it because the door is already open. Oh yeah, that wasn't that run. Yeah, that's some of the weird stuff that can happen sometimes. Just, it's kind of rage. You're supposed to grab it, you're not grabbing it, you just try. You're like, okay. So you can grab this elixir before the cutscene. It's very stupid to do. Like, it's possible, but it's really weird. The setup to kill it, to kill this man fast, is pretty cool. You yank it once, because you have to attach it with a chain to get it on your way. So then you do a normal combo when it's up in front of the boss door, and then you should just have to do a normal combo here. Well, when I say normal combo, I mean strong combo, because like it's so much better than normal combos. Pretty much the same speed too, so like, why would you not do it? So something I try to do in the later runs is open the doors that I'm trying to open with the chain. Yeah, I try to put myself in front of the door, right in front of the door, so I just have to press A. That was a giant mess up. So I just have to press A when I'm done opening it with a chain to enter the next room. Entering the boss at 7:03, it's a decent time. You can enter at like 7:01, under 7 minute 2. It's kind of hard to do. I'm pretty sure that was a very good boss fight that I had here. So when he does this attack, I can't yank anymore. Oh, you know, okay, it was actually garbage. Never mind what I just did. I don't know the exact moment when the boss triggers his second phase. It prevents me from getting attacked just like this. And while he's getting in that enrage mode, I can't hit him, so I grabbed the unreadable old note for money, because that's like 500 gold liots. It's pretty much free. Okay, yeah, the second phase was very good. I'm pretty sure that during this, like the first half of the run, I was comparing against my average splits. Which is why, like, right now I'm -8, but technically like only -1 or something. So it was a decent start, but not the best ever. It was good enough. Let's just say that. Like, I know I have a ton of possible time save later on, and anyways, those runs never really start before you reach Arcadian Tower, so might as well continue. Unless you're like 5 minutes behind, then it's kind of ripped.
Well, I'm.
So yeah, from now on, Mazda is going to have some buffs, and all we're interested in is Umbrarium and Mobilium. So that cost me 800 every trip, and I can't buy more because it's really just 1 item per restock for everything. So you have to deal with that and do multiple visits to Mazda. So Sheardrop Spire, the more I played, the more I run the game, the more I feel like this tower is the worst. I really hate it. And hey, I dropped the sword when I was supposed to grab the monster. Feels great. And then I take forever to grab the lever. Fun. And then I fall down here. The movement in this run wasn't exactly the best. Like, this run is definitely improvable. But there is one main reason why it will be super hard to improve, and is going to be shown later on. It's really the only thing that saved this run. You'll see that later. Okay, I would say that this run was about average. For the most part. And then there is one spot that is particularly good. And everything else was average. So I'm pretty much... I know that there is one place in this dungeon that can drop Umbarium. At least I got some in a New Game Plus file where I just was farming for items and stuff. So I know there is a place that can drop them. I'm not sure if it's New Game Plus only or if it's like just another place that I try to farm lately, because I only get medicine there and that's not helping. So I don't know. Nice and good. And for some reason this happened too. Like, I know that this can happen when you are throwing the rock on the place where it's supposed to be to stick in, but sometimes it just doesn't stick, and that mostly because like your cursor goes out of the sticky thing, but here it was still on the sticky thing, and that got me very confused. It's like, okay, it happens. It happens. Once again, I try to be right in front of the door so that once the lock is disengaged, I can just press A and open it. it saves a little animation where Aaron just gets the chain back. And anyway, I need to walk to the door to open it, so even if it doesn't save time because you get a very good good chain disengaging thing, because like every time you try to open the door, and once it's opened, you know, the chain is going back to Aaron. Sometimes Aaron is going to be able to move right away. Sometimes he's going to still be trying to pull the door lock, which I don't understand why exactly. And sometimes he's just going to do his normal animation of getting the chain back in his hand. And I don't really know why either of those stuff happens. That was very scary here. I was thinking it would fall. Like, this only happened once. And I've been saying that a lot. I've been seeing some very, very weird things happening here in this tower that I've never seen before I came back to this game. And yeah, I just noticed that there's a book here, and I have no idea how much it costs. It gives. So I just decided to leave it here. So like, there is some. The book's value are different depending on the book. The tutorial books are usually only 50 leos, which is nothing when I need 800 every turn. There are some that are around 500. That's the most you're gonna have in the first 5 towers. In the later towers, you're going to have more chances to have 1k plus books, which is pretty cool. Alright, the boss. So it's a very, very easy boss to do. It's like, it's really not RNG. It doesn't have that much RNG in it. Just yank it a bit at first. So he's always going to try to have his face in front of you. And he kind of knows where you are, so you just have to manipulate him a little bit to turn in the way you want. That way you're always going to face his back. However, the length is going to take, the time is going to... Oh yeah, so here's a big thing here. I got juked by the boss. It didn't turn the way I wanted. So I had to do it in mirrored way. It's okay though, it still worked out. It was kinda slow, but it still worked. Just stand here, wait for it to turn, grab his back, and there we go. We are back on the killing stuff. So yeah, the moment he tries to charge at you backward like that, it's different every time, and that's where the RNG is. So sometimes if you get some very, very, very quick cycles, you're just going to miss a quick kill, but it's really rare and should not happen. And there we go, boss down. So a good run here would be done at sub 18. So I lost 20 seconds compared to a good run. But I'm only 20 seconds behind, and 20 seconds in Pandora Tower is nothing, so it's like, yeah, okay, it's fine. This is just fine run. And I was very surprised too, because I thought this was, I was comparing against my PB. And getting ahead at Teardrop Spire is not supposed to happen if I don't get a goal, because my PB is gold for Teardrop Spire. So the note that I just gave Elena to translate is the note that I got on Teardrop Tower. The reason why I give it now and not before is because if you give it right after the first tower, she's going to give you 3 text boxes, and here she only gave me 2. 1. Which saves me 2 text boxes to match and make stuff way more easy. So yeah, here I just switched back to normal, to comparing against my sum of best, and I saw 44 seconds, and I was like, what the fuck? This is not that bad. I thought, like, okay, my PB is incredible. Maybe I'm comparing against my sum of best. And then that would be less surprising. Yeah, there we go. Comparing against PB, 30 seconds behind. This is just fine. I know I can save that back later. Being ahead on the 4 first splits, and compared to my old ending PB, is a giant nightmare. Especially considering how bad I am at Shield Inspire boss. Because even if I said that it's like the only boss where I'm very consistent, where the RNG is very irrelevant, I still very suck at it. Ah, ça va bien, Kaiser. So I got a very slow moving here. It's very slow movement here. I was very scared that I would fall in the water, which can happen. It definitely is a thing. Thank God I didn't and played that well. Oh god, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was in this run that I played this room very bad. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. No, it was. That run was okay. That room was okay. Ouais, ça faisait un moment. Il faut bien que je practice parce que y a l'ESA dans une semaine maintenant et je run ce jeu à l'ESA. Time to grab the best weapon of the game and get bobbed by those ledges. And for some reason Aaron stopped here because I did not. I kept holding the direction, but Aaron stopped and I still don't know why. Best menu ever. So I was supposed to go on the equipment menu, but I messed up and I was like, yeah, my tools will try to go from here on the all items menu, but that makes the menu really slow. First Umbrarium use here. If you don't know what Umbrarium is, it's pretty OP. Gives me 30 to 40 seconds where I'm completely invisible to enemies as long as I don't hit it. Like if you hit any enemy with a chain or with your weapon, the Umbrarium goes away. Which means that you have to be very careful when you use one. Just hit the door lock, don't hit the monsters on the way. Because then they try to attack you and you are in trouble. very easy quick cycle to get here with the wheel. Don't hold any direction during the cutscene because otherwise Aaron is going to move in a completely different way than what he's supposed to. Just hold C when you fall down, mash Z and direction to roll, and then just grab that thing. If I have to execute that properly, because otherwise you're gonna miss it, but it's still very easy to do as long as you know what you're doing. So I was hoping for at least 1 or 2 mobilium here. I got 1, so I use it right away because it's the ending. And then the endings, there isn't that many places where you can actually use extra mobilium. Okay, I believe that if you get 2 mobilium, you are going to use that in Blazing Citadel. Because I have no idea where else you could use it. Alright, so I got trolled by the ledge here, so I need to cycle. Because I still very need to kill that fish. If I don't kill that fish, I'm in trouble. He's gonna, like, kill me 99% chance. He has 99% chance to kill me. Ooh, hard to speak. So I tried to at least prove it away and then grab my platform, but I failed that too. I'm lost like what, 15 seconds probably? No, probably just 10 seconds. This fish is dead. Like, if you get hit by any monsters when you are on a platform like that, you are going to fall down. Which you don't want to happen. Falling down is bad. So you can make this cycle even without mobilium. It's just a little bit tighter. And trying to reach that platform right away is not possible on the with the first with the first pole. It's possible on the second one though, which I did very well. Alright, time for the boss. Time to get trolled. The boss is the first place where you have a very decent chance to die. Because you are kind of wanting to take some hits if you want some damage in. Because you want to dodge as little as possible. So far so good. This boss is kind of always the same. What's gonna change is whatever attacks you're going to take. But like the patterns overall are always going to be the same. Yay, I'm dead. Thank God my resurrection stones were still active. And here I tried to yank, but I got hit by a cannon right when I was yanking, so got pretty unlucky here. So yeah, lost time. As expected for losing a cycle and not getting the best boss RNG ever. Again, a good run would finish at sub 28. So coming up is Crimson Keep. I'm going to do one fight in Crimson Keep. It's the only fight that we're ever going to see in the ending. Oh well, there's 2 fights that you see in the ending. And the strat is the same for both. And because you need to do at least one in the ending to get to Beast Fang, I could technically skip one of the 2. And but the thing is, I'm missing one Umbarium if I do that. So if the extra Umbarium that you would get in Shardrop's Fire would allow you to skip the first fight that you're going to see in the dungeon. Now there is also another thing that I noticed lately, is that some fights where you use an Umbarium, apparently you don't always need one. I'm not sure if it's like very consistent to not need one as long as you do the movement correctly, but if it is, then you can actually skip that fight and it saves, I don't know, 40 seconds. It's pretty cool. And like there is 2 rooms where this happens, where you can skip the Numbarium. I did it twice. I skipped the Numbarium twice there on these rooms, and the 2 times I did not get hit. I did not get any trouble at all. So it's worth getting into, because at least skipping one would save a lot of time in, like, would save a room in the ending. But it would be way more interesting in the ending because you do like 4 extra rooms, extra fights in the ending. So if you can skip some uses on Umbarium and just to use them later and skip some fights, it's always better, because like a fight is about 40 to a minute long. 40 seconds to a minute long. And that's some decent easy time save. That room we don't skip in the ending. Or actually do it because it's not very slow, and this room combined with the wolf room earlier gives you 2 levels, so that's pretty neat. It doesn't actually matter too much because we don't really care about levels in this run, but it's always better to have more levels, right? The problem is, if it costs you more time to get levels than to actually not get them and just speed through levels, well, might as well skip them. Took me forever to grab that that platform. But at least so far, all the little things that I'm talking about, it's just some minor mistakes that can happen, and that doesn't matter too much compared to the boss's RNG. Like the next boss coming up is one of these very good example of how RNG can screw you over in this game, and there's nothing you can do. So this room has a quick cycle, and I always try to go for it. So here, if you do it the same way as I did, you're going to have this little lava platform thing, and you can just go through if you dodge. So since I did not hit the right platform thingy on my way to the ladder, I didn't go for the fight cycle, which is going through the lava waterfall, because like the cycle is very hard to hit, and if you miss it, like if you go for it and you miss it, you have to redo the whole room. So hit the two levers and then get back there. It's pretty tedious. So might as well not do it when it saves like only 5 seconds or something. I usually always go for it if I feel like I can go for it, if I feel like my movement was right throughout the room. But if I feel like there's a slight chance that I don't get it, I won't. It's way too risky. This room is pretty neat. I actually don't need to use any umbrella here, just because the cat is always going to, or well, the giant tiger rather, is always going to try to use Nadamantia that is going to buff his attack, and that's going to give you just enough time to destroy the fire barrier. So here I was very close to die, but because I'm a that like happens half the time, and as long as you can grab those platform things, you're going to be fine. So this boss can be done in 2 cycles. But it's like, I don't know the percentage chance to not get it, but there's 2 patterns possible. One gives you an extra cycle and one does not. As long as you do the strat right, that is. You don't have to pull here, even though like the game tells you, hey, pull! Just having the chain on one of the parts, so either the 2 shoulders, the arm, or the head, is going to deal damage. So you can even just put the full chain on the boss, and it's going to be fine. So here he's trying to regenerate, because it's a phoenix or salamander, I don't know. Pick whatever you like. So you have to destroy that, otherwise you have to destroy the shoulders / arms again. Alright, here we go. And right here you know that it's a good pattern because he stays on the ground long enough. Then he tries to regenerate his arms, but you just yank and trigger the second phase of the boss. Then yank twice, just because that's extra damage and you can't really do much more. Here we go, that's the attack that you don't like, because then there is a flame that is going to follow you, and you have to destroy it. So here I just send my full chain on the head of the boss so I can just focus on dodging. Makes stuff easier. And you wait for the last moment before yanking, because you don't want to miss a quick cycle here. I really need to change my encoding stuff, because I believe that the encoding is overloading a little bit with 60 FPS, which is why like sometimes the sound or the images kind of not encoded properly. Should have done that before the stream. Actually, whatever. I'm just going to upload the no commentary and the commentary run Not sure on YouTube. I guess I can do that on YouTube. Yeah. I don't know yet. Yeah, anyway, this is where the time save starts, because as you can see, I can save 1 minute 30 on Ironclad Tower. And I don't... Ironclad turret. And I don't know why, but until I came back to the ending, it was my best split. That split that you see right there. So I'm very confused for why I never managed to save that time and to ever get a better goal, but I guess that my PV, like, I did not do that much in the ending. So yeah, I expect some time save here. Maybe it's just because I improved my strat over back in the days when I was grinding the game. I thought about it and I mean improve my strat for the boss, because the towers I did not change anything. What can change now is Umbreum and Mobilium uses. So that's like very minor, because Mobilium, even though you move way faster, the time it takes to use it is just way too long to be that worth it. If it was instant, that would save some very good amount of time, but considering you take like 5 seconds to use it, I believe in the first one we use in Wellspring Staple only saves 10 seconds. So yeah, it's like even if you don't have the Mobilium, if you don't use your Mobilium properly, you're going to lose like what, 30 seconds max, and it's really not where the difference is going to be made. So again, this run is going to be very clutch compared to World Record, whether or not I beat it. I already revealed it, but I won't spoil it for those who did not reach it on Twitter. I was just enjoying the run. Knowing it's PB, knowing it's World Record. Oh, and yeah, the room where I got the military site and used the Umbreum, this is where I could not like skip using it, because apparently the AI is using only one move there, which is the move I want. If it doesn't though, then forget about it, because that means that I'm gonna get shreked and there's no way around getting through the room with that Umbreum. So like there is one pattern that is good, one pattern that is super bad. So if there is any chance that you get the second pattern, then probably not worth it. Because killing those guys just takes forever. I believe it's like 2 or 3 minutes that you lose. So here I was supposed to go up to the door to open it, but I just messed up and a little bit more of animation. Maybe lose like what, 1 or 2 seconds. So sad. So even though there's this ore here and I could just destroy it right away, I'm just gonna keep it. Knowing that it only is missing 1 damage to destroy it. Because that way, if there is an enemy in this room, then I have a safe spot to be at, right here, right where I stand. Here the enemies won't hit me because there is a chance that they hit the whore, and if they do, then it's solving the puzzle without the player doing so. So the game prevents that from happening, which is pretty cool, and it's making it easier. Cause like trying to dodge an enemy in this little room you have is insanely hard to do, and also that would make the little guys just come close to me if I would open it right away, and that would be like what, 3 or 4 enemies trying to hit me. That makes opening the door completely impossible. The teacher says even though it takes 0 time to grab the item that's in it, since it's a turn selection node and I don't need the money from it because it's going to come at like the final tower, would lose me just a little bit of time, and anyway it's not worth grabbing. It's worth grabbing in the ending though, but not in the ending. Definitely not in the ending. Little skip here, don't have to grab the platform, you can just grab that thing when it just comes. It's cool. And here's an extra mobilium use that you wouldn't see in the ending because there's a better place to use it. But it's like, yeah, it's worth it here because there isn't that many places where you could use all the mobilium that you grab. Like the only real reason why you go shopping isn't for mobilium. Mobilium is very minor and would probably worth it to not grab them if it was only for this. But it's mainly for Umbarium because Umbarium is so worth it, as I explained. It can save. I think it's in grabbing all the Umbarium that we do in the run, it saves about 15 minutes. It's this crazy. (10 to 15 minutes). Alright, so this boss, it's 4 cycles if you minimum in the ending. So because I got scared here, I decided to equip my stage stone and the power stone I grabbed in Crimson Keep. Going to increase my chain damage a little bit, going to make the cycles slightly easier. And the strat I'm using now is always stand in front of it. Why? Because that way the boss is going to attack more. And because I'm doing some combos here, every time I hit the circle, I'm going to have some invulnerability frames. So the boss is going to try to hit me with his very strong attacks, not going to try to turn, so he's going to overheat a lot faster, or at least a bit faster. I believe it's like, well, I don't exactly know how much time that would save, but it's definitely worth it to stay in front as long as you know how to dodge and not take too much damage. So here I took some damage because I was, again, it's like a very risky strat if you don't pay too much attention to what's going on and you don't actually really well know your in-view frames. And here it's trying to cool, but just prevent that by chaining his tail. And it's actually overheating him a lot if that happens. So yeah. So by the way, I missed the cycle, the timing for the first cycle, but thankfully that was the second cycle was very good. So I managed to trigger the second phase, which is what you want on the 2 first cycles, because once you hit the threshold for the second cycle, then it's going to it's max damage. You can't deal more damage than the threshold HP he has for second phase. So it's... you have to hit that. At least in New Game. In New Game Plus, I think you can one-shot him. Wouldn't be surprised if you could. So here I'm at like 1 HP left. It was pretty scary. And because I messed up and tried to be too strong. So it's about 10 seconds every time you do a cycle. 10 seconds of yanking before you can... 10 seconds of pull before you can yank. There you go. Because Ledge is here. Getting annoying to be in front of him. Yeah, right there. It was just perfect for in-view frames. This attack is very annoying because it's very fast, so therefore you really can't abuse invulnerability frames. And if you're trying to do a combo, you have a good chance to get hit. Also, it's like not hitting him too much. There we go. Boss down. The boss fight wasn't the best ever, but it was okay. Okay enough to be ahead of PB. Alright, this is... whatever happened until now, it doesn't matter until this split. Because this split's Arcadian Tower is where the run is going to be saved or killed. As you can see, I have 3 minutes of possible time save. Somehow I'm now very consistent with this boss, so I know that I'm always going to save that time. But like, this boss can kill your run so easily. Just can... you can finish this boss in 5, 10... I believe it's like 7 minutes with a good boss fight. But it can take just double or triple that time because it's just that painful. If you do the wrong, like if you go for the wrong call of strat, you are in a very deep trouble. You can lose minutes just because of one bad decision on a fight that is very intense. It's a crazy fight. And why is it this hard? Because we're on the level. If you were playing casually, trying to upgrade your weapons, trying to, well, just play this game normally, you wouldn't be that under level. You wouldn't have such crap equipment as we have. That would make the boss way easier. But sadly, it takes too long to get a good build. Never forget to hit that switch, because that gives that saves like 10 seconds, because you are going to go down and you are going to have to come back up. So having to slip already down is going to save you like 10 seconds and some trouble, because there are some enemies down there. So here is the place where I'm highly considering grabbing an Adamantia, because that's 2 flowers that you have to destroy. Again, we're under level, and it's going to take about forever to destroy those flowers. Not the two attack cycles that we saw in Treetop Tower. Is going to take way more, and I'm fairly positive that it would save time to use an Adamantia. That's some reroute I need to think of, and like try to time. And also try to find the money for it, because that's still 500 leots that you have to find to grab that Adamantia. I'm not sure if you can afford that in the current route. Even then, there is 500 leots that is waiting for us in Treetop, for example. Alright, so this fight is a fight that we are never going to skip, because it's pretty fast, and there is very little chance that you get trolled, except I did. And I really don't know why, but sometimes when you are trying to do the strat that I just tried to do, or you just swing the enemy, it's just not gonna work, and that makes this fight a giant mess. So only one double left, so we're just going to combo in with side. And because we still want to move fast, gonna equip the twin blade again. So here we are going to grab a very interesting item in this game. It's called the Veteran Water. If you use that, then the chain meter that you see at the bottom is going to fill up instantly. That's a very cool item. Sadly, it's not useful for bosses because, as you could see, the DPS that you will deal is mostly because you are trying to pull, not when you are yanking. Or at least not when you are artisanal level. So taking the time in the elevator to use the items is something that I somehow never thought about until like this week. So it's like free moment to use a mobilium, and this mobilium use is very clever, and I'm very happy with how it works out. So here's a tree tried to use a Vitalium, which is going to give him some healing properties over time. Thankfully he did not, so I can just use my Veteran Water and instantly kill it. It makes killing the flower easier. You can probably skip that, but sounds like a plan considering that gives a level, which is going to be crucial for this boss fight coming up. And it takes no time to do too. So here, flower is going to be destroyed with those plant bombs. And since plant bombs do always deal a set amount of damage, it's going to be a pretty quick cycle. Now, it's supposed to fly every time it's hit by a plant bomb, but if you attack with a bomb when it's like coming back, you can skip a cycle like that. And we do it on the last cycle just because that allows you to just be on the right platform right before the end. So grabbing this Ambrosia is the most it's the best healing items of the game because it fully heals you, and it has the same effect as the Veteran Water, which gives you your full chain. And as you saw earlier against that tree, it's a very cool item because of that. And it's right on the way, so it's pretty useful. And hey, here's the second one. And that's why you like Arcadian Tower, because there is so many cool items in it. There is a Veteran Water, there is 2 Ambrosia, and if you want, there is also a Guardstone here in this room if you need some defense, which is not a luxury considering that what the next boss is. One of the funniest rooms of the game, I feel. You're going to go through this minefield while you're getting bombed at by those little flowers. It's always very fun to go through because there's all those explosions that you hear while you go through. It's pretty fun. Alright, so this boss. I've been explaining how stupid this boss is and how it can kill or save your run. Well, you have to destroy its shell to attack the herd and to actually deal him damage. Problem is we're under level, so destroying the shell is already going to take forever. Right. It's kind of fun because that can be done pretty fast, right? You just do 6 combos and that's over. The problem is, once its shell is destroyed, the boss is going to try to heal itself, heal its shell on that giant light cone at the bottom of the room, and you're going to want to prevent that from happening at all times. Problem is, to prevent that from happening, you need to use your chain and try to pull the boss out of it. But while you're doing that, you're not dealing damage to the herd. So there is multiple strats to avoid that from happening. So first, you need, yeah, it can be this painful. You just need good RNG to get through this boss fight. So thankfully, I didn't try to go back right away, so I could get some free damage in. And here, if he's trying to, you know, do this, and there is a plant bomb, you can just do that, and he's going to fall in the ground unconscious. It's pretty cool. Sadly, I kinda messed up, but. So yeah, there is also another thing that you can do. If he tries to go back, just grab his hurt and then grab a pillar. Now the problem with this strat is that it's very hard to do because the camera is never on the right spot to do that. So right now it's trying to heal, so you just try to use bombs to put it out if there is any. Otherwise you need to just use your chain normally. It did test that another time, so that gives me some extra free damage to do. Pretty cool. Now there is also a glitch that you can do on this boss fight that allow you to just have a bomb always in the middle, and he's gonna try to heal, but it's never gonna work because the bomb is infinitely going to destroy. So like, it trivializes this boss because then you just don't have to care about the shell. You can just deal damage and that's it. That's over. Yeah, second phase, he's trying to do this this attack that can destroy bombs, so sadly it's not really a good ally anymore. And here comes the troll. He's trying to go back, but you can just prevent him from moving if you just pull like that. Just get your chain at max while pulling him. Then yank on the hurt. It's your best bet on this boss if he tries to do that, and there is no way around. Because like the time it takes for you to grab the hurt and grab a pillar, if he's too close, is going to be just enough to, like, it's not going, by the time you do that, he's going to be healing itself. Just like that. And here I saw that for third time and I was like very happy. Because that's an excellent pattern to see, that's some free damage. Here I was expecting him to go back into the light cone. So he tried to go for this. Since he tried to use his serpent attack, I yanked right away. And he should be dead right now. Right here, right now. I don't have to care about his shell. And that was an excellent boss fight right there. That's why I was able to save so much time compared to my PB, because the boss fight was excellent. I did not get the glitch, which could have made this boss fight faster, but man, that was still an excellent boss fight. I saved 2 minutes 30 on this boss fight. I like 1 minute behind my best, which is an incredible time for this boss. So it's 3 minutes ahead after the worst struggle of the game. Very happy with this time. Highly considering that this run can be a world record at this point. Considering I can crush my opponent, get that sub 150. Very happy with this run so far. And like I explained earlier, the first splits, even though they were behind by like 40 seconds or some stuff or something, it's not that much in Pandora Tower. It's not that terrible split. It's just some not so good splits that could have been better, but not. So it's like fine splits. But this run is really good so far. Since Elena is always here after this cutscene, it's the right moment to do our ending route, which is give her 3 Beast Fang, the Beast Fang 3 times. It's reducing the affinity you have with Elena, just enough to hit the ending. If you don't do anything to reduce the affinity, you're going to hit the ending. So Rockchild is the very first dungeon where you have to go right instead of going left. Because up until now you had to go left all the time in the towers. So it's very easy to forget and go left here, and you're just going to be very mad at yourself because you went left instead of going right here. Second detonation, or you're going to see why I picked those up earlier. It's some very good items. Sadly you can't have that many in the run, but it's like very good. Took me forever to grab that ore. Picking this book is literally for money, because you have to wait anyway. So I've been wanting to find a way to split that part up, but never really found anything that could help, sadly. You have to wait for the thing to go all the way down, then go all the way up with it. Now there is an elixir here, but since I only used 1 down chorus, which is pretty much what in the tower where you expect to use it, I'll skip that. I'll also skip the Vitalium in Wellspring Stable, but I usually do anyway, even in the ending. Those little lizards are very annoying. It might not seem like it here, but they are just so annoying. Like pretty much any enemies in this tower are the worst enemies in the game. the most troll enemies. The big thing you expect here is not to see one of those big guys destroy you or your rock before you plant it on the ground. Also, I got hit somehow. I never got hit here before, but I guess. And as you can see, they hit pretty damn hard. Those main doors. So I was expecting to get this platform higher before the enemy would kill me, but it actually still happened. So so yeah, right now I'm down to 1 sage stone still. Or is it 0? No, it's 1. It's 1 because I did not use 1 in Ironclad. So I did, but no. Okay, so here I'm going to open this door. Gonna take a little time, and the monster is going to be able to get on the platform. But it's in case I get trolled, which can happen and lose me like a minute 30 in the next room. I have a backup. Like right here. If you fall at any point, you're going to go down and you will have to go through everything I just did. It's very painful. So yeah, just grabbing this platform might seem easy, but as I explained in Treetop, sometimes just Aaron just doesn't wanna grab stuff, and because he's not onto something, then he's going to fall, and there's nothing he can do. So having this door open allow you to restart very fast. Instead of losing 1 minute 40, and you're going to lose 30 seconds, which is very much better. See, detonation ore are very good, allowing me to go through a very stupid room. Instead of trying to kill the enemies or use an Emberium, you can also use some detonation ore in the right rooms. Here I got very unlucky because those stupid lizards just destroying my rug, so I need to get another one. And for some reason, things not just want to get out. This room is great. These rooms are great. Now you just hope that the lizard is not going to try to attack you while you are climbing this, because otherwise you're going to fall down. Sometimes this guy doesn't spawn, so you don't have to use this detonation ore, but if it does, well, you still have 1 extra detonation ore. Literally the only reason with this route I'm using that you grab the second detonation ore, just in case you get rolled. Alright, so one of the funniest boss of the game. It's very long when you don't know how to deal with him. It's pretty fast when you know how to deal with him. And I have 2 minutes of time save here, so I was very well expecting to save that. Or at least 1 minute. But here we go. So destroying the legs allow me to have a lot more time to destroy the head, which is very convenient. First cycle, pretty much perfect. Lost my elixir, it's fine. Now I need to deal as much damage as possible on the legs to be able to get up and destroy the head, the hurt again. His leg is down. You just need to deal as much damage as possible to the tail. Unfortunate hit. That's okay. Can go back on. Unless I fall for some reason. It's fine. So here comes the troll. So those little rocks is a very annoying part of the boss, because if they are not on your way, then you are fine. If they are, then you are going to miss so much damage. This boss can be done in 3 cycles if you are lucky enough. Most of the time it's going to be 4. So far it's like 2 cycles, counting the first one. And right now, I did not realize, but Aaron stopped yanking, and I got pulled down, so I lost an entire cycle. Nothing like I got and did not. Kind of my fault, but the end of the boss fault too. Like, I don't know. Grabbing that when I want to deal damage is always great. And now the tail is trying to attack me. Now, since it's phase 2, the tail is going to do 2 attacks instead of 1, so it's very annoying to see this attack. Because then that's some damage you can't deal on the leg, and that means that you also can't get up. So again, another rod that spawns right next to me. Super great, super fun. So good. So happy. Pretty mediocre 4th cycle. But it is better than the 3rd one. Tried to tank the attack, wasn't the best thing ever. That's my 5th cycle? I don't know, but at this point I was very mad because 5 cycle is a lot. And I'm going for a 6th one, probably even 7. And now I see this attack and I'm just super mad. Just this boss fight took forever. At least it was only one attack. Yeah, 7 cycle right there. 7 cycles when you can deal with this boss in 3. And then I see the tail attack again and I'm just... oh god, this hurts so much. This boss fight hurts so much. Instead of saving like 3 minutes because I get a good RNG, I get terrible RNG and I lose 2. Even more because I still can't grab it. And now he's doing the charge attack. So hopefully he's going to charge and die. But nope, that's not happening still. Alright, great. And now he's falling down, so I have to wait for it to wake up. Because there's no way I can deal damage to it, even though like it's right here. Now I could have finished the boss here, but I was just wanting to salvage this. And thank God I did not, because that was very close to 8 cycle. So last a minute when I can save 2 minutes 30. Like 2-3 minutes. I'm pretty sure that I can still save time to compare to this best split. It's drove me a little bit mad. Okay, I have 1 minute 30 of possible time save of difference compared to my C-ending PB. So like I can save an extra, so yeah, allows 4 or 5 minutes to this boss.
While you were away, Master said
So like it's fine. I'm still ahead by miles compared to my PB. I can still crush it. I can even maybe still get sub 150 if I play very well. But it's not over yet because turn peak is still happening and there is still a very annoying boss here. Oh shoot, I bought Fortificat. That's annoying, but I should still have enough money, right? Turn peak, giant wheel, annoying annoying dungeon, water dungeon. This is fine. Just what you expect from a water dungeon. So if anyone played this game, you might remember this wheel, and you have to move it twice. I still did not find a way to only move it once. That would make things way easier, but still need to find the strat to get that. I'm pretty sure it's not happening. So yeah. So opening this door now is for safety. I could do it later, because right now I'm using a mobilium, so I want to move as much as possible with my mobilium. But if I don't open this door now, and there is a monster when I come back here, I'm in trouble. So might as well do it now that I'm using a numberium instead of later. Other mobilium used here because I wanna get through that place while still using my my umbarium to open the 3 doors on the way. If you don't use any mobilium, then you're going to be only able to use to open 1 door, and then you will have to open the 2nd door on the way back. Which is very annoying, because if there's enemies there, you will have to dodge them or kill them. And here comes the 2nd wheel. Have to use it again. There's no way around, at least for now. And there is no way around I know of. Okay, here there were a little guy that I would have to dodge if I was to open the door. But I don't have to. Alright, we're done with the wood room. Now it's time to go for the giant waterfall one. Let's go all the way to the top. There is a sage stone in this tower that you can grab. It really doesn't cost that much time, but since I'm in the mindset of I'm not going to die more than once against this boss, I'm not gonna grab it. It's just up ahead of that waterfall that I was going through. Alright, so now there is some fish here. Usually just one, just like the last, just like in Wellspring. And I'm not going to kill it because it doesn't spawn right next to me. But that means that it can troll me when I'm going up. Thankfully, the platforms move fast enough so that it cannot happen. It's very sad if it happens, but it should not happen that you get tried by fishes here. Just have to pray RNG for it to not happen and keep calm. So the fish was here, I took it, made it go away, grabbed the platform, we're still fine. Because we can still grab the platform that I need here to reach the boss. And since I got an extra item that I was not supposed to buy, the Fortifica, I'm going to use it right here, because that's extra defense, and extra defense doesn't cost much, right? Especially considering that the boss fight is not going to start right away, so I have the time to use one item. So it's going to last for the beginning of the fight. Not much more, but that's good enough for now. So there is a way to get a one cycle on this boss, but forget about it ever happening. Or like, it's very hard to get. Very, very, very hard. Pretty sure it went here. Let's try to hook for it. The time the hurt is still in front of me is always the same, so I just have to time my damage to know when to yank on the boss. Here we go. Second phase triggered. Now it can use some. It can prevent me from attacking and using some giant water tornadoes. Very easy to dodge, but it's just super slow. Took a bunch of damage. Gonna heal once, because I need to wait anyway. Okay, here it is. So one cycle is when I'm able to kill the herd before like all the shells come back, which can happen. But here I got trolled hard by a tentacle, so couldn't reach a herd. Should have yanked here. I was too busy looking at my chain meter, thinking I need to wait until the last moment to yank. Here we go. So really close to one cycle. Really, really close. Took that damage on purpose to keep dealing damage to the hurt. Now please don't die. Kinda hard to know where the hurt is when you have no vision of where it was, of where it went. Controlled by cannon. And it wasn't the right spot. Yay! And now I get a tornado. Yay! So yeah, the end of the fight was pretty trash, but otherwise the RNG was pretty good. So it's a fine boss. That went okay. Could have been way worse. But I could have saved those 50 seconds. Probably I'm pretty sure that the 50 seconds I lost them on execution, not RNG. Alright, last tower. So here I wanted to buy a veteran letter. Sadly, not enough money because I bought the fortifica. So I tried to sell stuff just to make sure to try to get it, and then I realized, yeah, there's no way it's happening. So I'm gonna I'm gonna grab it in a slower way. Yeah, I realized I need 1.6 and I don't have enough. Let's see, that doesn't give anything. Let's try to sell Panacea, that's only 80. Okay, let's fuck this. I'm not going for it. Let's just grab the one in Blazing Citadel. So it's important to have 3 items that give me full chain refill for the boss of this dungeon, because that's going to give me a quick kill on him. So this is the second room where I'm not sure if I need the Umbarium. It'd be really neat if I could skip it. I was trying to grab the Vishran water here, but looks like I can't. So I have to get on the platform here, grab it from here, and then just go. Now this room is like full of enemies. I'm pretty sure like there is 10 of them. That's a lot, so there is no way I skip this Umbrarium here. And there's this Sage Stone here too. It takes no time to get, but since it's the last dungeon for me and I still have one, I'm still good on healing items. I decided to skip it again. For the same reason as the one in Turn Peak. I just try to get back on the platform you want before you get hit by one of those butterflies. Right, the main room of Blazing Citadel. There is a quick cycle to get here. But since I lost a run to trying to get it, like it's not even that. I got it, but the following stuff messed me up way too much. So I'm deciding to never go for it again, unless I like practice hard. The other strat. And last Umbrarium here. Why use it now? Well, that's because there is a monster that's going to spawn. Right here I was thinking that the platform was going to sink in lava. That's why I avoided from going in, and then I realized no, it just came back. So you can go there, Aaron, no problem. Don't have to wait. Grabbing this thing is harder than it looks. It's really way too finicky for what it is. Alright. Final chain destroyed. Time to head for the boss. make sure here to not try to jump right away, because sometimes you can just grab the ladder and then you're dead and you have to redo the room again. This room is a nightmare to do fast, because there is, like, as soon as you mess up, there is so many stuff that can go wrong. It's not even funny. Alright, so final boss for the category. It's pretty fun boss, and it's very easy to do too. Just expect to take a bunch of damage on it. Like any of the final boss, by the way. And here it took me forever to just grab his head. That was stupid. For some reason it's really hard to hit the body of the boss. Alright, so to reach his hurt now that the intro phase is done, I'm supposed to destroy all these satellites. It's kinda long. There is pretty much no way around for now. Also the intro can last longer, like sometimes he's not going to spawn his satellite as soon as he did here. And that was pretty unfortunate. So I probably lost like what, 30 seconds to it? Alright, here we go. This should trigger the second cycle, the second phase of the boss. Second phase is when the boss starts to get fun. So as I explained, I need 3 full chain power for this. So since the satellites are already doing something, if they are doing something, then I can hit the head right away. So I'm using the full chain meter thing. And here I got very close to get a very fast cycle. And now he's doing the attack that I don't want to see. Don't care too much about taking damage, because he's dead. Alright, pretty nice fight, and pretty nice strat. The rest of the fight was kind of sloppy though, that's why I lost time, but I'm pretty sure that can save about 30 seconds to go for this full super fast strat. Definitely worth going for 2 in the ending, even though that means that you are going to be really low on healing items after this fight, because you're using 2 ambrosia for this. So that means that it's whatever else left. Here that would have been 2 panacea for the 2 final bosses. Here we go. Now it's about 1 minute until we reach the end. It's PB. More than likely world record. World record is 151 47. Wait, no, it's 151.37. That's what was the overall world record. And we are going to finish with about 151.27. So 10 seconds faster. And because I was very hard skipping the ending stuff, I skipped the ending, so I'm just going to load the end, show it again, just for the fans. Going to skip all the cutscenes that I'm supposed to skip, just to show the ending, because it's not the ending if you don't show the ending. Elena. There we go.
It is the year 511 in the unified era. Remorselessly, relentlessly, the curse spreads far and wide. The names of Aaron and Elena, once sought by the Illyrian army, disappear from people's memories. To this day, they say that Mavda still brings victims of the curse to the 13 Towers.
How did this happen? How could we let this happen?
The ending. There we go, that was Pandora Tower, the ending. In 151.26. Thanks for watching, everyone.